Regardless whether you've enjoyed the Who tried to kill Roman Reigns storyline or not, even the people within WWE would tell you it makes no sense, or so goes the rumor. Apparently, people backstage know that the script has been ripped up and rewritten so many times by Vince McMahon that if you tried to explain the narrative to a random person, they would look at you like you just tried to slap them in the face. From fake Eric Rowan's just vanishing to pointless car crashes to Daniel Bryan both being involved and not being involved to other characters who are important for around about a minute, I do applaud WWE for at least trying this kind of angle, because it is the kind of angle we do need to see more of. So, with everything I've just said, let's be massive wrestling nerds. Here's how WWE should have booked Roman Reigns' mystery attacker. The real problem seems to be that we didn't actually have an ending when we started to do this, and that's made even worse with the constant rewriting of the script, as we've already talked about. Like at one point, it was meant to be Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan at SummerSlam 2019, and here we are at Clash of Champions, and instead, we're getting Roman Reigns versus Eric Rowan, the match that at the start of the year, nobody would have predicted was going to happen. And if you did, you're a liar. Here is the thing though, the finale is exactly what this kind of storyline should be used for. Take the King of the Ring, which everybody says came into existence because the winner is going to get a big push at the back of it. If you are chosen as the person that tried to kill Roman Reigns, the biggest star in the company, you're likely going to come out the other side a massive, massive deal. With that in mind, let's go back to a few weeks ago when some scaffolding very unfortunately fell on the big dog, although in a cinematic way, but let's not forget about that. And two people got tied up in the nonsense, and one would be Eric Rowan and the other would be Buddy Murphy. And as soon as internet fanboys everywhere realized that, we jumped on it like the detectives that we are. Up to this point, I am happy it allowed Murphy to get on TV and finally spread his wings on SmackDown, and I'm not even mad if you want to do Roman Reigns versus Buddy Murphy and have it go in the exact same fashion that it did. I mean, Roman is on the hunt for the person that tried to kill him to keep his momentum up. He probably needs to beat Buddy Murphy in a good competitive match. That's what we got. It also allows Buddy to serve as a red herring, and you always need a red herring in a detective story, but you should also have another one, and that person would have been, bear with me, Aleister Black. It takes all of 3 seconds to recreate that scaffold footage and make sure that somewhere within that is Aleister Black. Then when Roman Reigns is done with Buddy Murphy, he finds Black and he says, listen pal, I know you've been in that room waiting for someone to knock on that door, and it hasn't really worked out very well to this point now, has it? So if you can't get a fight, why not escalate things by trying to knock off somebody's career? It can even be hinted that Aleister Black knew this would be the case and wanted to scare Roman Reigns, because then of course he would get Roman Reigns versus Aleister Black, and you benefit from being in the ring with the big dog. Much like before, they can have a match, and while personally I'd rather that ended in a DQ or a smudge, because if we're going timeline to timeline, Aleister Black was in the middle of a kind of decent push, so you want to protect him a little bit. Ultimately, it doesn't matter. Roman can win, and Aleister Black has been inserted into proceedings. That's what counts. Which brings us to Rowan. While Murphy and Black can just be passed off as two guys that happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time and paid the price for it, Eric has to play a pivotal role in all of this. He was indeed behind the scaffolding, keeping an eye on proceedings. He wanted it to fall down, and the reason he was behind it was because he was in cahoots with the person in front of it that was giving it a push, and that person is Daniel Bryan. Now at this stage you may be thinking, well, that sounds really boring, and that sounds really obvious, but it doesn't matter, and the logic is there. 2019 has taught us that if Daniel Bryan does anything, Eric Rowan is going to be soon behind him and vice versa. We can then use the weeks of TV we did have to build this, including that stupid car crash, and every time Roman has near miss after near miss, he finds some evidence that he's able to hold up and go, look, clearly it's Daniel Bryan and clearly it's Eric Rowan. He can find like a recycling pack or something. As long as Roman can come out on a few shows and call shenanigans on these two as they protest their innocence, we can eke out that storyline and ensure people keep tuning in. And if it did end with a, oh yeah, it was us, that would suck, but that's why we're keeping the surprise reveal on the back burner. Without the mysterious fake Rowan, there's now no longer any plot holes in this storyline, and you can even do what WWE has already started, which means at Clash of Champions 2019, you do have Rowan versus Reigns, which Roman Reigns loses when Daniel Bryan gets involved, because of course he'd do that. Once again, we're really playing up the fact that Eric Rowan and Daniel Bryan are friends. We can then get to Hell in a Cell and do Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan. At this point, Roman should be absolutely livid with steam coming out of his ears, and you can even put it in the cell itself. And you may go, well, why would you do that? Well, one, it's a storyline at this stage. It's been going on for months, so it earned it. But two, it has a logical reason. You know that Eric Rowan is going to try and get involved, so make the steps to keep him out. At this point, you start to have some fun. You book the match so they absolutely beat the crap out of each other, because again, Roman wants revenge on the person that tried to kill him, and Daniel Bryan is a bit wound up because he believes he's innocent. At least that's what he's been saying. I mean, he's trying to save the world, and this arrogant asshole is more concerned about his own well-being. Who is going to do some composting now? And then it all comes together, and before I get there, remember, this is what I would like to see, not something that I ever think WWE would do. During the culmination of the match, which likely will have the crowd chanting, "You deserve it," because they've screwed up their chants in this scenario, Eric Rowan does indeed come out to the ring, and he's trying to get in the cell. He's ripping at the door, he's ripping at the steel, and that does make sense. Look at the man, he's huge, and every single referee and every single official has now turned their attention to Rowan, and they're trying to get him to back off. Then, using that classic idea of appearing from underneath the ring, Luke Harper pops up, he hits Roman Reigns with whatever his finisher with. I mean, it's been a long ass time, I can't remember. Daniel Bryan then hits him with the running knee. 1, 2, 3. Eric Rowan, Luke Harper, and Daniel Bryan stand tall in the ring. There is the argument that Harper should step aside and let a different young up-and-comer take that spot, like someone from NXT or whoever you would choose, but I would put Harper in that bracket anyway because he's never been given his due in the WWE. But also, it makes sense. That's my big things with storylines. They've got to make sense. We had the Bludgeon Brothers and Harper and Rowan before that, so we know that they're friends. But also, Daniel Bryan was in the Wyatt family for all of a minute, and now it can be said that he went back to someone who he knew would understand, and it was Eric Rowan that talked him into it, and now we got a brand new three-way faction. The trio are ready to wipe out anybody in WWE that doesn't want to save the environment. Look at Luke Harper. He could absolutely pull that off. This gives us a tag team who at some point could even go after the WWE tag team titles and win, and that allows Daniel Bryan to be a singles competitor again, and hopefully he goes after the WWE Championship and he wins that too, because again, that just makes that faction even more dominant, but that's irrelevant right now. I'm just spitballing. What matters is that it feels like the group is a threat, and that's when Roman Reigns can go out there and find two wrestlers to try and take these guys down. I'm not talking about the Shield, flood the Shield. I don't want a Shield reunion. No booking video right here, right now is gonna end with, oh, the Shield about Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins. No, but why not Buddy Murphy, the guy that Roman Reigns accused all those weeks ago, but still earned his respect by showing him what he had in the ring. And Roman Reigns could make you think Buddy Murphy's important with one good, well-executed promo. And have a guess who the other guy could be. That is right, it would be it would be Aleister Black. You don't muck around with this, and you have to go out of your way to make it feel like Buddy Murphy and Aleister Black are now on Roman Reigns' level as he gives them his seal of approval, and then these three warriors go and kick the ass of the three would-be murderers. If you plan everything past the fact, what you end up with is Roman Reigns still in his top guy position. We haven't affected that, he's still the man, but you've also created two brand new stars in Buddy Murphy and Aleister Black that if you push right and you use correctly in all the fallout, everyone's going to accept them, especially because, again, they were associated with Roman Reigns, and the audience picks up on that, they see it. So basically what we've done here is that we've taken our big summer storyline, which there always should be in WWE, and ensured it benefits us in the winter, it benefits us in the spring, it benefits us in the summer, and it just keeps benefiting us all the way around. And isn't that the point of a narrative within WWE? To make the company stronger down the line, and to make a couple of new people in the meantime. I think so, I would have liked it, and it would have put Luke Harper back on my TV, and it would have given Buddy Murphy a push, and it would have put Aleister Black in a position I believe a lot of people think he should already be in, and none of it affects Roman Reigns. Thank you very much, and good night. Now, don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know how you would have booked the Roman Reigns storyline. And I know, stupid bald asshole, don't know what you're talking about. Go put your head in the toilet, like, share, and subscribe. Head over to WhatCulture.com and read yourself some articles. Follow WhatCulture at WhatCulture WWE on that there Twitter. Watch more videos here on WhatCulture Wrestling. My name is Simon from WhatCulture. Thank you very much for watching. And again, I'll point it out for a second time. It's just my thoughts. It's just my feelings. It's just something I would have liked to see from wrestlers that I have an affinity towards. You may have other wrestlers and you can pick and choose. You could have put Apollo Crews in there. You could put Andrade in there, but you'd have to do some work. That's the idea. You have some fun. You let your brain go crazy. Maybe we'll do another one of these soon. I'll see you when I see you.
Hi guys, I'm Adam Wilborn from WhatCulture, and if you're a fan of what you've just seen, then make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling on either iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts for daily wrestling podcasts, where we not only review Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live, we also discuss the events before and after of pay-per-views. We have roundtable discussions discussing burning wrestling issues, interviews, and a roundup of the week, complete with a bloody good quiz, of course, on WrestleCulture. Thanks for watching. I've been Adam from WhatCulture, and I'll see you soon.